Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I know we have a full house and there are limited seatings. Can I please ask that you clear the doorways as much as possible? Try to move out of the doorways if you can, please. Thank you. I would like to call to order the New Haven Unified School District Board of Education meeting for Tuesday, April 16th, 2019. The board will now reconvene to open session and report out items from closed session. Before I begin, we do have Clerk Canlis, who is joining us remotely. So she's right here. Regarding section 3.1, may I have a motion and a second to expel student number 1 and place student to Quest Academy?
So moved.
Second.
So moved.
Discussion?
None.
Roll call, please.
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you. Moving on to item 3.1 on the agenda, Public Employee Performance Evaluation, Superintendent's Evaluation. There is nothing to report. Regarding item number 3.3, Public Employee Discipline Dismissal Release, Government Code Section 54957, there is nothing to report. And regarding item 3.4, updates on negotiations with NHUSD bargaining units, conference with legal conference, Government Code Section 3549.1, there is nothing to report. Moving on to the procedural items, may I have our students lead us into the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh my God, I was getting jumbled in my words. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and we loved having the students lead it with us as well. Moving on to the next item, 4.2, roll call, please.
Aye. Here.
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 Here. Thank you. Moving on to the next item, approval of the agenda. May I have a motion and a second to approve tonight's agenda as presented?
I move.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Here. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Gotta move.
Aye.
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 Aye. Thank you. Moving on to the next item, item section 5, recognition, resolution number 034-1819, classified employee of the year. Mr. McNamara and I think Sherry will be making the presentation.
President Kaur, members of the board, Superintendent Smith. Tonight is a special night. We are here to recognize our classified employees of the year at each site and in the district. Sherry Benefield, my coordinator in personnel, is the one who has inherited from Vicki Ballard. She runs the process, and so she works with all the principals to make sure that all the sites run a fair process and an open process to come up with the people that best represent the best of their sites for classified. So Sherry, come on down. I'm going to speak a little bit about the process, and then you can start the process.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here. It's a great honor to be here this evening to recognize our classified employees of the year. These dedicated staff members represent all the great work that is done each day by our classified staff to nurture and support our students. So I am very honored to name each individual that was voted on at their school sites and throughout the district. And so we'll start with the first.
Before we do?
Before
we do, is those of you who have been here in the past, when your name is selected, you're going to come up and we're going to start on this side, and we're going to line up this way facing outward toward the crowd. At the end of it, you'll get a chance to turn and face the board for them to address you, okay?
Okay.
I'll be over here, you can see.
Okay. Okay, the first honoree is Linda Gerritsen from the ESC. Okay, and from, I don't think she's here, so we'll go on to Conley Carabello High School, Kathy Jo Shaner. James Logan High School, Patricia Gonzalez. Cesar Chavez Middle School, Miran Sharma. Searles Elementary School, Lenora Matthews. Pioneer Elementary School, Sylvia Rains. Tom Kitayama Elementary School, Tricia Pulido. Hillview Crest Elementary School, Melanie O'Malley. I think so. Guy Emanuel Elementary, Juan Castaneda. Delane Easton Elementary School, Teresa Sanchez. And there's a few people who couldn't make it, but we want to recognize from the Courtyard, Robin Barstow, Mary Cardoza Center, Clara Ochoa, Itliong Veracruz Middle School, Dina Padilla, and the New Haven Adult School, Joe Hendy.
The unsung heroes of the New Haven's Unified School District are Classified Employees of the Year. Now, if you can please turn around and face the board. The board would like to address you.
Can we go ahead and have comments started from the student board members if you have anything?
Just want to say thank you for all your guys' hard work, for being here and just doing what you guys do. And I just want to say thank you from Conley. We might not all be at Conley, but I just want to say thank you.
I just would like to also thank you for all the efforts and work you put in for your school site and the district. It does not go unseen, and I really value it, and so do other people. Thank you.
One of the things that I often reflect on is at one point I had done some substitute teaching. In elementary, it was a kindergarten class, and that was really intense, and I was really glad, and I had two paras to actually help me, and I couldn't have done it without the paras, and that's representative of all the work that the classifieds do. So I thank you for your work. I don't think the district could run without you, so thank you.
Thank you. So many of you might not know that I started my journey here in this school district when I came to the United States in 1991. In 1992, I started as a classified employee in this district. So I know your work. Thank you for being
extra ears and eyes for our students and making our school system better a whole. Thank you. Thank you for your work.
Yeah. Linda, would you like to add anything?
Yes, I would like to thank them for all the work that they do for our students. They are our backbone. They really do a lot for our students. So thank you so much for doing such a great job and going above and beyond the Call of Duty. Thank you.
And I'm going to echo the similar sentiments. I think congratulations, first of all, and thank you so much for your dedication, your commitment, not only to students, but also to our staff and keeping the facilities, running. It's because of you guys. You're the vital and the backbone of our school district, so we appreciate you very much. And I do understand that many of you guys are going to be moving on to the county level, so I wish you the best of luck in that. And you guys will represent us very well once you get there. So thank you all again so much for all that you do. Yeah.
At the risk of lacking anything new to say, I just every day give thanks for our classified employees. Honestly, you hold us up. People oftentimes don't see you, but trust me, we know you're there. And I just cannot imagine a district without you. I just can't. You're too valuable. So thank you all very much for what you do. We really appreciate it.
So we can shake hands now, and then the board would love to take a picture with you guys, but before we do that, we have to obviously make the motion and get this going. But so may I have a motion and a second to approve resolution number 034-1819, classified employee of the years?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Martinez.
Aye.
Miro.
Aye.
Nishihira.
Aye.
Chima.
Aye.
Canlis.
Aye.
Cord.
Aye. Thank you. So why don't we shake hands, and then we'll take a quick picture.
And then we have to do the overall. So if you could shake hands real quick, and then we're going to have them turn around, and we're going to announce
that's
the
right.
overall.
Of course.
Great. So if you guys can come around this way. Maybe double back when you come this way. This way, you guys can follow her this way, and then you guys are going to come and shake hands.
Hello. Thank you.
And then we'll have them come back and face us.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you.
And then you can go back to your normal positions. We're going to do the classified overall employee of the year.
It's okay. Thank you.
All right. Our last piece before the picture. First of all, I want to thank Tanya Leno and Robin Hernandez, President and Vice President of CSEA, who worked so tirelessly with the district for CSEA to make sure that CSEA is heard. And I do appreciate the work that they do for all of you and for the work you do for all our kids in this district. Also want to thank Debbie Cornell, my secretary, and Sherry for doing this process, running this process. I'm going to turn it over to Sherry for the last piece.
Okay, so I had so much fun reading all the applications, and when you walked in, I felt like I knew all of you because we had a little committee that read the applications that were so thoughtfully written, and every one of you has contributed so much, and we thank you from the bottom of our heart for that. But we do need to pick one person as our district employee of the year, and so this is what the application said. This person has a positive attitude and a warm personality. They greet everyone with a smile, calm and supportive in all situations, goes above and beyond to help colleagues, relentlessly advocates for all students, serves on their school site council, always providing valuable input, also serves on the New Haven Safety Committee, never misses an opportunity to show school spirit, and can be seen sometimes dressing up in costumes. This person has served faithfully for the last 28 years, and this is what their principal wrote. It is rare that students remember how well a lesson is learned or how quickly paperwork is processed. What they do remember is how we treat them and how we make them feel. Relationships are key to everything we do in schools, and this employee works diligently each and every day to create positive relationships with everyone she meets. It's an honor to present Ms. Patty Gonzalez.
We love you, Miss Patty.
Okay, I think the board would like to take one picture. Is that right? Mr. Matos, are you around in the back to come up and take a picture with everybody?
Yeah.
Me? Oh, okay, I can do it.
We should go
Want us to go down?
Yeah, let's go down.
I didn't even tell.
So you get John because he's tall. That's why. You guys squeeze in just a little bit there. Sorry, just a little more there. Let's keep going, keep going. I'll fall back. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right.
So I understand we have family and friends of our staff that are here to congratulate them. So in honor of that, we'll go ahead and take a 5-minute recess. So you guys can take pictures with your family.
There's CSC like, I know my friend by check right now, like, hello, Miss Patty. I gotta go. Are we allowed to do I know. Sorry. Thank you.
Thank you all. We're gonna get back to our agenda. Thank you. Moving on to section 6, information items. Item number 6.1, required quarterly reports regarding complaints filed under the Williams complaint procedure. Ms. Metzinger.
Hi, good evening, President Kaur, members of the board, and Superintendent Smith. As required by legislation, as enacted by the Williams settlement, the Board of Education must receive information only of a quarterly report indicating the number of complaints received relative to sufficiency of instructional materials, emergency or urgent facilities condition, teacher vacancies or misassignments. I'm happy to report that we have no complaints for Williams uniform complaint procedure during the third quarter of 2018-19.
Thank you, that's good to hear. It is an information item. I don't know if anyone has any comment or question.
No.
Okay.
None.
Thank you, Ms. Metzinger. Next item is 6.2, items from the board and superintendent, and we'll start with our student board members if they have anything to report.
Nothing to report?
So SBAC testing is currently going on, so that means Logan is on block schedule for the next 2 weeks. We have a play this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. It's Almost Maine in the PAC. Powder Puff is April 26th, and students have many questions regarding budgets, and I compiled some questions that I think would be helpful if we address them later on, whenever that is. And students have also voiced their concerns regarding limitations on this year's skip performance.
Thank you, Member Nishihara.
Okay, I wanted to let the board know that for the meeting of 5/21, I'll actually be out of the country. I'll be in Guatemala, so I'll be attending remotely. Also, the New Haven Schools Foundation Scholarship Luncheon is on May 22nd. Sadly, I won't be able to make it because I'll be in Guatemala, but I'm also happy to report that the foundation will be giving out over $150,000 this year, which is up quite a bit from the year previous. Also, the New Haven Schools Foundation Fun Run is this Saturday at 8:30 at CCMS. Go there and help support the foundation. That's all I have.
Thank you, Member Nishihara. Member Chino?
So, other than the many meetings we have during the superintendent search forum, I was able to engage in some of the community events and schools and colleges. Last April 12th, Friday, I represented Union City in the quarterly meeting of Ohlone College's President's Business Advisory Council. And on April 11th, I attended our state Senator Bob Kioski. He has announced his bid for the open congressional seat because our Congressman Alex Walwell has announced his running for the President of the United States, which will be an honor for our area. And April 9th, Tuesday, I attended the City of Union City's proclamation about the Vaisakhi festival and a wearing of a turban day, along with Member Nishihara and Member Kaur. April 8th, I attended Union City's Historical Museum quarterly meeting. One or two of our elementary schools, they send their third grade class for the local history presentation. But board was asking me if we can send all of our elementary schools third grades for that presentation. It's very educational, local history. And then, March 31st, I attended a Sikh community. His temple is opening in Union City, so I attended that meeting. It's a long time in coming. March 28th, Mission Valley ROP special board meeting. March 24th, James Logan High School WASC meet and greet meeting. March 21st, Mission Valley ROP's regular board meeting. And March 22nd, I was able to connect with the PTA at Pioneer Elementary School for their fundraising for the movie night, family movie night, that Friday. So that's my report.
Thank you, Member Chima. Member Canlis, do you have anything to report?
Yes, I have a few. First of all, I'd like to thank Member Nishiara for sharing the information regarding the foundation event, the fun run on the 20th, April 20th, and the May 22nd scholarship luncheon. Also, I would like to thank the coalition. For the first time in history, on April 3rd, a coalition of teachers, union leaders, classified leaders and classified employees, superintendents, board members, community members, parents, and students went to Sacramento to rally and request from the legislators full and fair funding for our schools. As you know, most of the districts are struggling, and New Haven is not an exception. So it is so wonderful to see people working together to address one of our biggest issues, and that is funding. So I'd like to thank all those people who work together. And that's not the end. There will be more until we get where we're headed, and that is to make sure that all our teachers, our students, our staff, and everybody in the community get what they deserve as far as education is concerned. So thank you. Thirdly, I would like to invite fellow board members to attend the last Alameda County School Boards Association meeting on Thursday, June 20th, and it would be at 6 o'clock. So please come and attend that. It is open to guests and also other members of the education community, such as superintendents and cabinet members. So that would be it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Canlis. Member Chima, you have anything to add?
Yes, I forgot to mention that California School Boards Association, CSBA, they are hosting a fundraising on May 4th. I will pass on the information to you guys. They have invited the board members from Alameda County and Contra Costa County, and it's all regarding the full and fair funding, so they are having their CSBA PAC so that they can lobby with the legislatures for the full and fair funding for our schools. I will send more information to you later on.
Thank you.
Can I add one more thing?
Go ahead.
I'd like also to thank Orlando Smith and Joe Angelis for supporting the rally and being instrumental in making it happen. So I hope that if they're there, that they say something about that today as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Canlis. So I will just make 2 points. I know we have a lot of speakers here tonight, so I just want to first of all thank the district for hosting the 2 budget information sessions at both of our sites. I know there were few parents that were able to attend. I think these are the meetings that we should have more community members attend, so that way there is some information out there that you can continue to ask questions on. And I also want to acknowledge the many emails that we are getting from teachers, students, and parents. You know, we read them. We may not be able to get back to you on all of them, but know that we are hearing your concerns, and we do bring it up, and a lot of those concerns have been addressed. If you go onto the website, you can check out all the FAQs. If you have additional concerns and questions, please continue to email us, and we will get them addressed as soon as we possibly can. So appreciate all the emails. We know this is frustrating time. We're with you, so let's ride through it. So thank you, and Dr. Smith.
Thank you. So welcome, everyone. First, I want to congratulate Jocelyn, our student board rep from Logan, who had worked tirelessly to put a student advisory board together, and it's finally happened. We've had 2 meetings already, and the next one is scheduled for April 24th. And the topic on that one is school safety, and that will be held at Logan, so listen for more information on that. Also want to thank Richard Valier. I thought he was somewhere here in the room, but I want to publicly thank him. He made a where is he? Oh, there he is. Richard made a $450,000 donation to the UC Family Center, which is in this district. It's over 3 years. We know that for a long time in the southern part of Alameda County, we were kind of overlooked, and he's making it his mission to make sure we aren't forgotten down here in this end of the county, so I really want to thank him. I also want to thank Joe Angeles, Linda mentioned it, for his leadership in bringing the coalition together. And I also want to thank everyone who made time to be there on April 3rd. And I want to say something about the coalition. And the coalition was designed to place more responsibility on the people who control our finances. It's the first time in my career, other than something that was on the ballot, where respective educational organizations, teachers, administrators, classified employees, school board members came together around a single purpose. And it showed that it's possible. It's possible to change the approach because all of us want the same thing. Full and fair funding is long and overdue, and if you weren't there, this is the sign that was shared that afternoon. But I want to do something else. This is a shirt that I wore in 1980. And on this shirt it says, "Apples a day don't pay a teacher's bills." This was in 1980, but notice the apple. And this is a shirt, I've kept this shirt for 40 years. Because when they brought this shirt to me, the apple in the middle was black and it had a worm in it. And I refused to wear it. Because I said, I will not wear anything that depicts black as a negative. And so 3 days later, they came in with a shirt for me. I was the only black teacher on the campus. So they brought me a shirt with a white apple. That's not the most important part of the story. The most important part of the story is for 40 years, we've had groups pitted against one another fighting over limited resources. We see it in our communities, where we have racists fighting against each other. We see it in countries. We see it everywhere. And when we began this process, I asked, could we just be more collaborative? And still here we are, back, for us versus them.
0% is not collaborative.
When we were in Sacramento, I was in a group that met with the finance department. And the first question they asked was, what group do you want to take it from? To me, that was the wrong question. Zero sum is the prevailing mindset that one group gains and another one loses. That gains must always come at the expense of someone else. And it's usually often marginalized groups versus the other. To my way of thinking, it's not good to say we're a coalition and then fail to practice that at home. Us versus them only serves to protect the people who are ultimately responsible for our mutual well-beings. This has been a goal of mine since the 70s, as you can see from the shirt. I continue to hold out hope that someday we'll see those games and those tricks and those traps that have divided us vanish. I generally like to be hopeful and optimistic. My dream is still alive that we will build a coalition, that we will work together rather than against each other. And when that happens, we can all retreat to Whistler. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Moving on to the next item on the agenda, Section 7, Public Comments. Are there any speakers, hearing of visitors on topic on the agenda?
There are 70 speakers.
Okay. So for those 70 speakers, I would like to allot 90 seconds per speaker. So please be respectful of the time, 90 seconds. And may I have...
First speaker is Fong La. After Fong La will be Richard Valier.
Good evening, trustees, Superintendent Smith. My name is Fong La. I am the newly elected Alameda County Assessor. but more importantly, I'm a proud product of the New Haven Unified School District. I originally was going to talk to you about the county assessment roll, our $300 billion assessment roll, which is expected to increase by 8% this year, and it's expected to increase by another 7% next year, which is a 15% increase in our overall assessment roll. But rather than talk about property taxes, because everyone loves to talk about property taxes, I thought I'd tell you a little story. When I was growing up here, I had a classmate who was in a very abusive family. One night, in fear for her life, she locked herself in a room, got on the phone, and called her teacher. That night, 2 teachers and our high school counselor came to her house. They removed her from the house, took her to the hospital that night. That was the night before our high school graduation. She spent the night in the hospital. If it wasn't for those 2 teachers and that high school counselor, she may not be here with us tonight. If it wasn't for the fact that those 2 teachers and that high school counselor lived in the community in which they worked, she may not be here tonight. Now, teaching is the second most important job in the world, and teachers will never be paid what they're worth. I get that. However, our teachers should be paid enough to live in the communities in which they work.
Thank you.
If you indulge me for one more second, I'll wrap up. I know that times are tough. I know that budgets are tough. I'm in the same process right now with my own budget and my own staff. However, where we put our money is a reflection of our priorities in life and in our community. For me, as the assessor, I have worked very hard the last 3 months to try and make sure that my staff is paid enough to live in the county in which they work. I hope that all of you, I know it's a very tough job, will try and find a means to make that happen.
Thank you.
Thank you,
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Fong.
Next speaker is Richard Valier. After Richard Valier will be Damian Reynoso.
Honorable board members, superintendent, ladies and gentlemen, people of Union City, like the previous speaker, our assessor, Fong Law, somebody who I'm very proud of. I am also a product of the district. I was a graduate of Cyril's Elementary School, Bernard and James Logan High School, where I met earlier, the superintendent referred to nearly $500,000 that our office has committed to the district. And I really believe that we all have to pull together. Each of us needs to be on the same page and talk to one another. I'm impressed that you joined arms and stood shoulder to shoulder in Sacramento. I hope that we'll continue to do that and that there will be continued conversation and dialogue between everyone, and that transparency will be the #1 issue between the district, our teachers, and their union representatives. I want to do everything I can to help this district. So as of this evening, I will commit another $100,000 to a teacher that I hope you will pick to help benefit not only the district, but the children of this district, because I really believe in action. And I understand the action that the teachers are taking. This is something that's very important. It's happening all across America and all across Alameda County. But before we go to the picket lines, I hope that we will first go to the bargaining table and talk to one another. Please. I sincerely thank you. My daughter-in-law is a teacher, and my grandchild, who is 10 months old, I'm very blessed, just arrived from San Diego, and I left them just now to come here, but I only live a few blocks. I'm so proud to be a member of this community. I will continue to do everything I can to help and broker conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Supervisor Valier.
Next speaker is Damian Reynoso. After Damian Reynoso is Anaya Adamson.
Chair, maybe? I've spoken twice before, but I brought someone that hopefully you'll listen to this time.
Just go ahead and read it.
Please do not increase my class size. I need my teacher a little bit more than my classmates. Don't give us that many classmates or else I won't have my teacher to help me keep me alive so I don't pass out or else I will not live. I don't want to pass away when my sugar is low. My parents are not there to help me, so I only have my teacher to keep me alive.
He's got a malfunctioning organ that can cause him to have seizures. And his teachers have done an amazing job at keeping him safe at school.
Thank you.
That 30
Our next speaker is Anaya Adamson, and after Anaya Adamson is Kevin Asuncion.
Anaya, you want to get on this, please? You good?
I know, I'm sorry.
I think I'm
Maybe you come down a little bit. There you go.
here.
Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Anaya Adamson. I am a current student in Miss Leong's class at Easton. I am here in protest that teachers are being laid off. That would be including Miss Leong. She's one of the best teachers in the school district. I mean, all the teachers I've had have been amazing at the least. So I believe they deserve better, perhaps raise, which is what they have been fighting for. Once they are laid off, the classrooms will become bigger and there will be more pressure on the teachers. Some of the students will not be paid any extra attention, unlike how smaller classes teachers have fewer students and can focus more in depth on each one, where they can also improve their skills upon all the different subjects. Plus, is it fair that a starting teacher gets $72,000 a year when that's only a fraction of what the superintendent receives, $280,000 per year, along with fully paid health insurance, dental plan, and retirement fund, when the teachers are mostly paying out of their pocket for all those things? This goes to show that we have enough money to give our teachers a raise. And in one of the most blessed countries in the world, and in its golden state, we can't even afford to give our teachers a raise. I don't know why, but for some reason I'm more disappointed in the school board than any teacher has been disappointed in me when I slacked off during an assignment. I believe that all teachers in the district should receive a raise without any of them being fired for no reason, because the truth is they love their job. Why do you think they committed years of their lives to go to college and pay thousands of dollars just to become educated to teach? Have you ever heard anyone say, don't get a job, get a career that you can enjoy and pursuing? Well, our teachers perfectly fit in that definition. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Before we have our next speaker come up, I think there's a person closer to the light switches. If you can just maybe stand away from it, it's turning off and on the lights in this room.
Help if I turn this on. Is Kevin Asuncion? After Kevin Asuncion is...
Yeah, the lights. Can we have...
Do you know what lean on some buttons? Those are the lights. Don't lean on the buttons.
After Kevin Asuncion is Ira Sharma, I think.
Good evening. My name is Kevin Asuncion. I am one of the many 8th graders. I attend CCMS Middle School. I would like to thank my teacher, Ms. Grunwald, one of the many teachers at the school, for helping me get up the courage to talk tonight. I would like to address many things tonight, but most of all, I would just like to address, I would like to address what all the other talkers before me addressed. That all of our staff members at CCMS, they work their hardest, they work their best to make sure we have a great work environment for our education. They try to educate us the best they can, and I don't think they're getting enough recognition for that. They take time out of their day to do stuff for us that they're not getting paid for. Like, for the past month or so, I've been working with Ms. Grunwald on assignments that I feel like I need more help on because I do not understand them. But I believe they aren't getting enough recognition. None of the teachers here or any of the staff members for doing what they do. And like the last speaker said, their paychecks, their salary, is only a fourth of superintendent, I believe. I believe they can get their raise. I believe they can get their recognition. It's just something that we need to pay more attention to for our teachers.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next speaker is Ira Sharma. After Ira Sharma is Michele Walsh.
There you go. Hi, my name is Ira, and I'm a 4th grader at Tahleen Easton Elementary School. Today I'm going to talk about the importance of teachers in our daily lives. Teaching is one of the most important professions in the world. Teachers are the main pillars of a sound and progressive society. They pass knowledge and values to children, prepare them for working life, and are the main contributors to good education. They bear the weight and responsibility of teaching, and apart from parents, are the main source of knowledge and values for children. Teachers involve themselves in molding their students into responsible citizens in their country. This most important profession, however, doesn't get the recognition it deserves. 7 teachers from Tahleen Easton Elementary School have been pink-slipped. Also, there has been no hike in the teacher's salary. They do not get the benefits they deserve. For example, no medical insurance, no salary during summer vacation months. Do you think this is how teachers should be treated? I strongly oppose the way teachers are being treated at New Haven. I stand with my teachers and request the New Haven School District to reconsider their decision on layoffs and salary cuts. Finally, I have this petition that has exactly 121 signatures. My friends Natalie, Eva, Madison, they all helped me get this done. I'm very thankful. They helped me get 121 signatures, and there's from communities, our students from our school, and even a few teachers. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Michele Walsh. After Michele Walsh is, again, I'm having trouble reading these, Nina Batia.
Narina.
Okay. Don't really know how to follow that. Okay. This is my first time ever. So, good evening. My name is Michele Walsh, and I have been teaching 1st grade at Kitayama for the last 6 years. The 3 years before that, I was laid off due to cuts. Before being laid off, I had taught 3 years of kindergarten at Emmanuel. Don't take it personally. Dr. Smith, those were the words you used in your introduction last year for our first leadership meeting, which I have been a member of for 7 of my 9 years of teaching. You said those words in regard to negotiations during the 2017-18 year. At the time, I didn't put much thought into them. I was just overjoyed to finally be a permanent teacher. It took me 6 years. I was a temporary teacher for 6 years, 9 if you include the 3 years I was laid off. However, now I find myself replaying those words. How can I not take offense? I take offense that my passion and dedication are not worth your investment, that my students and fellow teachers appear to be just another number to you. I take offense that asking for a living wage to take care of my family, my 3 kids, who go to this district, such as a mortgage, orthodontia, medical, sports activities, and planning for their college so that they don't begin their adult life in debt, is being portrayed to our community as greedy. I take offense that you are willing to put our students, our children, our new teachers, classified staff, and APs in the middle of this fight as if they were your shield. Finally, I take offense that my own 3 children, with their excellent attendance, are paying for your raises and not ours. I voted yes. I voted yes, and this can only be personal. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Narina Bhatia. After Narina Bhatia is Jennifer Mendigal.
Give her a chair. She's going to be too high. You can kneel.
Give a handout. Give a handout.
Good evening. You consider teachers as if they were zeros, but you're making a big mistake because they are our superheroes. Ms. Carr, our district has suffered from declining enrollment for 10 years. Increasing class sizes will only speed the process. That should be crystal clear. Ms. Canlis, some district officials get a pay way over $200K. Why are raises only for them? I sense foul play. Mr. Nishihira, you're really okay with losing 25 teachers to other districts? I have a feeling you will be gaining a lot of critics. Ms. Shima, we all know there is a multi-million-dollar surplus. Please recalculate the numbers and stop the circus. My name is Narina Bhatia. I'm a student of the awesome Miss Leong who you're letting go. Do you really care about this, Dr. Orlando? Please address our concerns, and thank you for listening to my speech. But remember, our community will only re-elect you if you side with those who teach.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Jennifer Mendigal. After Jennifer Mendigal will be Roland Valina.
Go, Jennifer. I got you.
Good evening, Board and Superintendent. I have a daughter in first grade at Kitayama and a son at CCMS. Right now, at this moment, my son's playing a game, Little League game, over there at Logan. I'm not there. The reason why I'm not there is because my son told me, go to the board meeting. It's more important. Why is that? Because he found out last week that his teacher from 5th grade is being let go. His face was so sad and he was so concerned for his teacher. The next thing was another question. Why is he being let go? He is such a great teacher, Mom. I'd love to be in his class. My answer to him, I responded that right now there's budget issues and the board is working through and trying to make the numbers work. What did I really want to say? I'm so sorry, son, but the school board doesn't care about our teachers and how talented and how good they are and how much of their own money they spend. They don't care about how much time they put in outside of the classroom to make sure you guys get the very best every school year to prepare you for the next year. They want to give your teachers more work, but not enough pay. And because of that disrespect to your teachers, this school board doesn't care about you, your sister, your friends, or any student in this district, and it makes me sick to my stomach. That's what I really wanted to tell him, because that's the truth. And you can't tell me it's not because of the lack of actions that you are showing. It speaks volumes. You, as a board, are on the verge of a legacy, and it is not a good one. But there is still time to change that. Give our teachers what they deserve. It is not fair. It's not right. You sit up there with your six-figure salaries while our teachers are offered zero. I, as a parent, ask you to do the right thing, because if not, get your calculators out and start adding up the dollars that this district stands to lose if these teachers go on strike, because I will not send my child there, and as you can see, there's enough parents that stand behind our teachers. So New Haven Board and Superintendent, the ball is in your court. What is your legacy going to be?
Is Roland Valina. After Roland Valina is Johan Cassell.
I'm back. Madam President, I rise today not only to advocate for those who have given their blood, sweat, and tears to this district, but to bring it to attention to the fact that due to the dire district budget situation, one of the forensics co-directors standing right there was given a pink slip indicating the intention to let him go. The current situation of declining enrollment will only be exacerbated if Mr. Corrupt is let go, because there are students who go specifically to Logan to be a part of the forensics program. I am exactly one of them. And without Mr. Corrupt, the quality of our program is at stake. Please resolve this. Madam President, last year, 72% of students at Logan taking ELA SBAC last year were at standards met, standards exceeded. That alone should justify a 10% raise. Instead, you are giving 0%. That means teachers this year will take a 2% pay cut, almost $1,000 a year. If you think this is how you think you'll attract top talent, you are wrong. With many of you being former Silicon Valley employees, you know that top talent deserves top pay. It's time to give the top talent in this room their top pay. Thank you.
Next speaker is Johan Cassell. After Johan is Christiana Curry.
Hello, my name is Johan Cassell, and I'm the senior class president here at James Logan High School. And on behalf of the class of 2019 and many other students here, we are disappointed in the lack of action you six have been taking to ensure that our teachers are given a fair and reasonable rate. By refusing to pay our teachers what they need, you are consciously making the clear decision to hurt the quality of education for me, your own students, children, and the 12,000 other students here in this district. Prove to me that you care about the education of students here in the NHUSD. Many of you guys are up for re-election in 2020, and if you want to get re-elected, show to the entire community that you're willing to make the sacrifices to provide for the needs of our teachers. You six have the power to make this change. As someone who recently just turned 18 and is now eligible to vote in the next election, you have not made a good impression on me and the next generation of voters. Everyone here, if you are eligible to vote in the next 2020 election, please raise your signs and hands. I want to see all your hands up if you're eligible to vote in the next election. Please raise your hands and sides. Now, board members, do something or we will vote you out and find someone else who can and will.
Our next speaker is Christiana Curry. After Christiana Curry is Michael Gardner.
Speaker.
Just to your mouth.
Wait.
Yeah, you can go anytime. He's got you, Sarah.
Hi, my name is Christiana Corey, and I'm in the 4th grade, and I go to Delaney Easton Elementary School. My teacher, Miss Pandican, is one of the 7 teachers that got pink slip. All of the teachers that are getting pink slipped are amazing, and the district board just firing them because they claim they don't have enough money to give. That's not right. And now that teachers are getting fired, the classes through 1st and 5th are rising up to 30 kids per class. It's important that teachers stay because students should build a strong relation with their teachers. And if they leave and new teachers come in, it's going to be harder to build that relation again when you don't know the new teachers. It's also important for teachers to stay because since the number of students in each class are rising up to be about 30 students, how are the teachers going to have one-on-one time with all the students to talk about their schoolwork or what they need to work on? Schoolwork on. That's really important because you should be able to build a strong relationship with your students. And how are you supposed to do that if you can't build that connection and the number of classes are the number of students in each class are rising up? It's not going to work, and it's not going to work. So.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Michael Gardner. After Michael Gardner is Darlene Crittenden.
Hey everybody, first I want to apologize. I didn't get a chance to really prepare my notes ahead of time. I was busy taking the strike vote authorization. And I've been thinking a lot about the Oakland school boards and the LA school boards and the various states who are having strikes, and actually Poland had the entire country teachers go on strike. And I'm wondering what damage was done in their community because of the time and lost education, and if it was worth it. Now, those districts around here, Oakland and Los Angeles, were offered more than we're being offered. Now, the union is done democratically, and last year we tried being very reasonable, and you guys play hardball, and our members let us know what they expected, and we listened. And so the fact that everyone on the exec board and got reelected, it can tell you that we're listening to our community. If you want to get reelected, you need to listen to your community, and they're telling you the priority belongs in the classroom, and the most important aspect of funding is what's in the classroom. They're watching, and they will decide. Thank you.
Next speaker is Darlene Crittenden. After Darlene Crittenden is Lillian Jenkins.
I'm actually looking for Kelly Jenkins, Lily's mother. Okay, so I need to hold my time because she's actually going to take my time with hers. Thank you.
Where's Lillian Jenkins?
Lillian is here, but she's going to go after her mom. Her mom is changing the sun. Is she here? Lily, are you here? Yes. Oh, come, Lily. I'll stand with you. Lily, you want to stand? You want to stand or you want your chair, Lily? I want to stand. Okay. I hate that she's going to miss this.
I know.
Okay. There she is. Mom's coming. On this side. She's right here.
When me and my family moved to Easton, when me and my family moved here from New York, my first school here was Easton. I was here for TK and kindergarten year. My kinder memories were awesome. My kinder teacher was especially amazing. I loved everything at Easton. I loved school so much. It had a great music program, and all the teachers were really nice. But then we moved to Fremont. There, they didn't have a really great music program. They didn't have all the great teachers and events that we have. I went from loving school to disliking it. In the classroom, it's already really crazy. It's hard to get my teacher's attention because the other kids are shouting out. In that classroom, I cannot advance. Larger class sizes aren't going to help that. Also, supplies don't last very long. There's pencils on the floor, and every week the pencils are already gone. Larger class sizes, our teachers have to buy more supplies out of their own pocket money. More classmates are only going to double the amount of pencils they buy. It's also already crowded in my classroom. I'm going to be really squished if we have larger class sizes. These teachers, they're the best in the world. These teachers are what makes Easton great. Thank you for your support and time.
Next speaker is Kelly Jenkins. After Kelly Jenkins is Stella Teodoro.
She needs to grab her paper. She had to take her son to the restroom. I'm sorry, Superintendent. It's just part of having kids. You can't tell them when to go.
Sorry. Before you begin, can I please remind the person who's leaning against the lights to please move?
Guys, just get off the button.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Okay, members of the school district, my name is Kelly Jenkins, and I'm a resident of Union City and a parent of 2 children who attend the school district. What I'm concerned about is a proposal to raise classroom sizes to 30 and 40 kids. That plan is going to turn away the parents and homeowners that we are trying to attract to this district. It's going to compound our declining enrollment problem. Increasing classroom sizes is not the way to get there. It's bad for teachers, it's bad for students, it's bad for homeowners, and we're losing great teachers like Millie Chow in the process. Millie, I know you're out there. So before we take those drastic measures, which I do not find acceptable, I want to know that the management of this district has scrubbed these financials inside and out. I want confidence that their numbers are right, that their projections are sound. I want to know that they've made a priority in balancing their budget. And I want to know that it's consistent with the values of this community. That's the kind of information sharing that I think needs to happen. We started that conversation last week with the informational sessions we held, but we need to do more. We need more transparency and more accountability. We have great teachers here, and that's why I'm here. Those teachers go above and beyond for their students, but they also want to be treated fairly in the process. And I think that district has failed them in more ways than one. I feel like this district has failed me as a parent as well, and for the principal reason, because of a lack of transparency, a lack of education. How ironic is that? A lack of education about the budget and how we've been funding ourselves over the past few years. I can say this because I'm a finance professional. I work in the field of finance and have done so for 17 years. I manage very complex budgets. We should be able to make this perfectly clear to all the people in this room, most of whom have, or probably all, the teachers that have dual degrees. We can make this simple for them. It's not that complicated. A lack of clarity that we've been surviving off the sale of an asset, the former middle school, and using the proceeds of that sale to fund our teachers' pensions. It's irresponsible. We should have been reminded of this fact each and every year since that happened, that we were living off of borrowed time, that we put a Band-Aid solution in place that we knew would not fix the problem and would someday fail. We knew this day was coming, and from what I can tell, we didn't do much or anything about it to plan for it. We didn't prepare our teachers for it. We didn't prepare our parents for it, and now when the rubber meets the road and we're finally openly discussing it. We as parents and community members need a better understanding of the budget, of what's behind our declining enrollment figures. We asked these questions and didn't get answers. We need a better list of ideas that have been pursued. What have you guys tried? What are your ideas? That's what we pay you for. We need to know what's possible and what's not. And that includes some options that may not be popular. Yes, like the merging of school districts, potentially. If we did that, what would the savings be? What would that mean for classroom sizes? How many teacher jobs would be spared? And what impact do we think that would have on our students? You know, I don't like that idea either, but what I like even less is losing good teachers and increasing classroom sizes.
Time, please.
We have to make
Thank
this
you.
district great. Don't take the things away that make this district great. Preserve our classroom sizes. Preserve the few and inexpensive programs.
Our next speaker is Stella Teodoro.
Keep going, Kelly! We're going to have to get creative here. I have finance.
Really?
I'm a finance professional with 17 years of experience in managing highly complex corporate budgets. Annette has my personal cell phone.
Turn the mic on and let her finish.
I gave Annette my personal cell phone number. I'm here to help. We need every good idea that any of us can come up with. Please get the help you need, and please don't let us down. Thank you for your time.
Our next speaker is Stella Teodoro. After Stella Teodoro is Don Heinsohn.
Who? Can you repeat the name?
Stella Teodoro.
Hello, I'm a mom of 3 kids at Kitayama, 5th grade, 3rd grade, and 1st grade. It's so frustrating that I'm here again speaking to you guys about the same issue. I should be sleeping. I work at 11 o'clock tonight, but I'm here to support my teachers. It's extremely frustrating knowing you guys are okay with our teachers receiving 0% while you guys are up there making 6 figures. And on top of that, you're increasing class sizes and laying off qualified teachers. How will our future kids want to be a teacher when they see all their teachers being laid off because of these things? I just can't believe that all of you can sit there and be okay with our teachers voting yes to strike. Look at all these people here now that are here supporting our teachers. Why are you okay with majority of the children possibly missing school during the strike? You guys will lose money, not us. This district does not value our hard-working, supportive teachers, and that is the exact reason I'm pulling my middle schooler out and sending him to another school district.
Thank you. Next speaker is Don Heinsohn. After Don Heinsohn is Frank. I can't read the last name, but it says from Teamsters, number 7. What's the last name? Montenegro. You're after Mr. Heinsohn.
I'd like every one of my colleagues who's gotten a firing notice to stand up, please. Our bargaining team is directed by our executive board and by our membership. I know that my membership and our bargaining team supports us. This bargaining team is directed by this school board, and this school board is responsible for the fact that we've been offered nothing. I heard the superintendent talk about zero-sum games, so let's talk about some sums. This year, the district is projecting $3 million new revenue and a $1.6 million cut in absolute dollars spent on teaching while increasing the budget for administration. Does a school board who is cutting teachers and beefing up administration deserve re-election? No! I was here 15 years ago. Richard Valle was here. Richard Valle and I worked to replace people in those seats, and we will do it again if we need to. And the damage has already been done. It is a zero-sum game with respect, Mr. Smith. When you make $273,000 a year, and you have a 3% built-in raise, and we have none, and if we get something reasonable like half of 0 to 10, if we get a 5% raise, you're going to get another, what, $15,000? Yeah. That's money that could be spent on my colleagues who are losing their jobs. Yeah. I want to talk to the community real briefly. If you in the community think that you would do a better job than these people, please let a teacher know, because we're going to be back in 2020. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Frank Montenegro. After Frank Montenegro is Gavin Smith.
My name is Frank Montenegro. I'm going to tell you, sir, you are not a friend of labor. You are not. You need to take that shirt and burn it. I'm going to tell you that now. None of you are going to like what I say. Hey, I'm a Teamster, Local 70. All you guys sitting here with poker faces waiting for us to get done so we can get out of here. I need to wake you guys up. And I want to tell you something. These guys, look at these teachers back here. They're not alone, because what's going to happen? Us Teamsters are going to be out there with them. Yes. And I can see it. I can see it. I can see it. Oh, yeah. You go ahead and say no. You know, but everybody else, look at you guys, poker faces, just sitting there like this, waiting for it to get done. Well, it's not going to be done. This is the beginning now. Look how long these guys have been like that. You know, I've never seen a union meeting turned out like this. This reminds me of the old days of Mr. Hoffa. And I'm a retired Teamster with a retired watch, 30 years plus. I'm close to your salary. But you look at you guys. You guys, man, look at these guys are dying on the vine out here. Huh? And I got one of my grandkids who go with the teacher over there at the school in Union City there, and I look at that, and I say, come on. And you know, I hear so much about how Union City's got the money. I got a good friend, Gary Singh, who got voted into Assembly, and you're talking about all these things they're going to do for Union City. Well, what about these guys? You start with these guys. These guys are worth it. And I can see you, the way you're moving your chair, because I understand body language. So, when I was born in Brooklyn, New York, 3 pounds, 12 and a half ounces. So, hey, I was always in a hurry.
Next.
Thank you.
But I'm going to tell you something. Sir, you need to burn that shirt.
Thank you.
No more.
Next speaker
You're not
is
a friend of
Gavin
labor.
Smith.
No, I know you're going to
Gavin
shut me up
Smith
because you
is
know what? I'm going
Tahleen
to bring these
Hayslett.
guys to their feet because I've been known to do that.
Next speaker, please.
I know. Sure. Next
Gavin
speaker.
Smith.
That's right. See? Next speaker. You know, your next speaker, look at that. I've never seen it so quiet in here.
Thank you. Can we get the next speaker on? Thank you.
After Gavin Smith will be Tahleen Hayslett.
Good evening. I'm not speaking for myself tonight. I'm speaking for a fellow teacher who is a new teacher and was uncomfortable about speaking in this format. These are his words. Before I came to New Haven, I taught for 3 years at another East Bay district. The situation here feels similar. Every year, the negotiations were for a new contract. And every year, the district did everything they could to show us that we weren't valued. Every year, teachers spent time and energy fighting for what they deserved, and every year we settled for less for the sake of the students. I enjoyed the school I taught at. I liked our admin. I had a great relationship with teachers and students, and I would have been perfectly happy to stay there for a long time. But every year I saw coworkers leaving because they felt the district just didn't care about them. And they were right. The district made it clear that they were replaceable. Each year I felt like the number of returning teachers was smaller and more new teachers were being introduced. New teachers would be hired, gain some experience, and then move on. In my final year, I had no intention of leaving until late April, when 4 other teachers in my department made it known that they were accepting jobs at other schools. These outstanding teachers who I owed a lot of my growth as a teacher to. It was a turning point for me. I realized that the district didn't care about me, and then I applied for a job at New Haven, and I was hired. And in a span of 2 weeks, I went from having no intention of leaving to accepting a job at a new school. It didn't take long for me to settle in. I feel comfortable. I like the administration. I love my department. My coworkers are amazing. I have great students, and this just makes it harder for me to see the exact same thing happening here. I may be relatively new at New Haven, but I am already tired of having to go through the same fight every year. It is time to show that we are united and we will not be undervalued. I voted to authorize a strike, and I will back the union in whatever action they decide to take. We are not worth zero. We are worth more.
Thank you. Next speaker, Tahleen Hayslett. After Tahleen Hayslett is Sanvi Patel.
All right, I'm Kathleen Hayslett, thank you, say it correctly, finally. And I did vote to strike when that happens. Okay, and first of all, stop using declining enrollment as an excuse for all these financial problems. If that was the case, for how much this district uses that, there would be no students left here. Okay, obviously there are. Now, to get on with the real world, I'm unique in that I have two experiences with teacher strikes. One as a student, and another as a teacher. When I was in high school, our teachers went on strike. Later as an adult, and I got a job in a district, and we went on strike. So let me tell you what happens. It's not business as usual with just different players in the building. The district is going to put out an ad, and maybe they already have, with highly paid positions, much more than you pay our substitutes who are loyal to the district currently, probably about $200 a day for these people to come and walk across the picket line to sit in school buildings. Okay, these people are called scabs. They're not subs, they're called scabs in the union world. They will have no qualification other than they pass the fingerprinting. That's all they will need. Those will be the people in charge of instruction, which, by the way, will not happen. Okay? Teachers won't leave lesson plans. In room 14, you won't know what page of the math book they're on. Okay? Plus, you will also have some students from room 16 in that room, and you won't know what page of the math book they are on. And that's the case at every single school. The day will go like this: worksheets, maybe an art project, reading, a minute and a half already, reading, lunch, and then a movie in the NPR. Okay, the district or administrators will threaten seniors with graduation, which won't happen because the teachers are the ones on strike that give them their grades. Then you'll use athletes as pawns and threaten to cancel their season. And you want to talk about wrath. The parents of athletes do not tolerate stuff like that. They've spent a lot of money. Athletes will find a way to work with their coaches in the off season. I'm finishing. You can go ahead and turn it off. I'm going to finish. Okay?
You, as board members, will get a police escort everywhere you go dealing with district business. You may also have a police car parked in front of your houses because there will be picketers on your sidewalks in front of those homes, with numerous emails, numerous phone calls, which every member in this community that lives in Union City has a right to do because you're a public official elected by them. Okay?
Thank you. Our next speaker is Sanvi Patel. After Sanvi Patel is Vince Furia.
Parents will stop sending their students because they'll learn that they're...
Can we please have the next speaker, please?
And two, it's not safe. They couldn't prevent a stabbing of Logan with a full staff and security text. What do you think is going to happen when there is not a full staff there? It will not be safe. Shame on all of you for bringing that on, for doing that to these wonderful students that have been speaking. And Dr. Smith, shame on you for that speech, talking about collaboration when you did not decline your raise last year.
Thank you. Sanvi Patel. Vince Furia, we after Sanvi Patel.
Just remember, this board voted for him to have it. He didn't vote it for himself. Come on now.
You go right ahead.
Hello, my name is Sanvi. I'm 10 years old and I am a student at Easton Elementary. I'll be personally affected by the decision you made today. I really like going to school because my teachers from 1st to 4th grade have been able to pay more attention to me as an individual. I love my teachers such as Miss Chow and Miss Cunningham. I don't want class sizes to increase because that means that teachers won't have enough time to pay attention to each and every student. I hope that you will make the right decision and not lay any of my teachers off. I wish that every student that comes to Tulane Easton will have great teachers like me, like I am lucky to have.
Our next speaker is Vince Furia. After Vince Furia will be Muriel Guzman.
Hi, I'm Vince Furia, 22-year veteran of this district and newly elected elementary director for NHTA. Better get used to this face. I want to talk about one word, and that's incompetence. Incompetence is a school board that pays for consultants for a new superintendent when you're offering your teachers 0% raise. Incompetence is holding on to multiple millions of dollars in reserve and not spending it on educational reasons such as teacher salary. That is incompetent. Incompetent is employing financial executives or administrators who preach that the 3-year outcome is looking peachy keen, and then suddenly we have to cut everywhere. We have to fire teachers and offer our teachers 0. Incompetence is not long-term budget planning that includes cost of living raises for your certificated staff. It's incompetent. For all of you, we'll be here in 2020 for people who are competent and can hire competent people to work in this building. For me, you could probably get rid of half or 2/3 of them, and my job wouldn't be affected. I'd be able to do my job rather effectively. Incompetence is making priorities that value administrators higher than teachers. It's incompetent. And it's about time that the school board realizes your own incompetence and the incompetence of the people who work in this building and make a change before children suffer for teachers going on strike.
Our next speaker is Muriel Guzman. After Muriel Guzman will be Daniel Estrella.
Hello, my name is Muriel Guzman. I'm a father of Mariana Guzman. She goes to Alvarado Elementary. I just want to say that I don't understand how this is going to help out the kids or the teachers with what they're trying to do and increasing class sizes. Like, I have a little brother. He has a hard time like learning. You know, I can't even get him to sit still. You know, I go on field trips and like it's hard. I got like 5 kids and I'm like, where are your parents at? You know, like I don't know how like or who's gonna take care of all this. And the teachers, they got like so many kids in the classroom, and I'm just amazed how they do it and remember everybody's name and stuff. And I just feel like adding more students is going to create like more disruption. I don't know how the teacher's going to get to everybody. We all have strong personalities, different personalities. Like you never like for people, we're unpredictable, and kids, they just got so much energy, so spontaneous. I just don't know how this is going to help anybody out in the long run. And increasing class sizes, I would rather take my child and teach her myself. So just so I could focus on her and make sure she understands everything. And I just want to say that I vote no.
Thank you. Next speaker, Daniel Estrella. After Daniel Estrella is Shane Henderson.
Yes, thank you. My name is Daniel Estrella. I'm going to put it like this, simple, very simple. You guys got to wake up. I'm an old school individual. And it's like I'm a volunteer at Gardner Manual Junior High School for the 2nd grade. I'm a volunteer. Don't get paid for it, but I like what I'm doing. It's all about the kids. It's all about the kids, education. Education is number one. I was taught education is going to get you somewhere. That's right. Like Martin Luther King said, I have a dream. The teachers had a dream to become a teacher. Just like President Obama said, education is important. Yes. Now, what's happening here with the education? Teachers are getting 0%. I'm in the classroom teachers can't afford an increase in the class because it makes it hard on the teachers and also the students because they will need an education. If you increase the classes, they're not going to go where they're supposed to go because they're going to lose the image of not going to school. Frustrating because they're not getting the right way of teaching. So let's wake up. Work together in the same page. Please do that. Because when I see my kids tomorrow, they're my kids. I call them my kids. They call me Mr. Daniel, and I'm not even a teacher. But I'm doing it for them because they need an education.
Next speaker, Shane Henderson. After Shane Henderson, I think it's Katie On.
Hi.
K-A-D-Y.
I'm a teacher at Logan. I've been here 15 years. Logan the whole time. I had a choice of school districts to get a job at. I'm a good teacher. I used to be a great teacher. I'm now probably just a good teacher. My students are over there. They could tell you. The reason for that is because for the last 2 years, my focus has been on this process of negotiations rather than being able to hone my craft. I am an excellent teacher if I have the time to give to my classroom. Unfortunately, I wasn't there today, was I? No. I will not be there again on Thursday. I didn't have time to prepare a speech because today I spent all day out of the classroom preparing the fact finding, which I do not want to be doing. I want to be teaching. I was pre-law in school. I decided not to be a lawyer. Now I kind of wish I had.
At least you get paid.
Where do you think this is going? Do you think this turnout is not going to stay here? Do you think we're going somewhere? Do you think we are not going to go on strike? It's going to happen. We're all here. We're in your face. I mean, you might not have noticed last time because most of you were on your cell phones. Thank you, by the way, for not being on your phone tonight. Because I was going to say something about that. We got your attention, I can tell. Now you have to do the right thing and offer us a decent settlement so I can get back in the classroom and give a better education to these AP students and my other students as well. They deserve it. We deserve it. Wake up, pay attention, do your job. You are supposed to serve the community of New Haven. The money in this district is supposed to go to educating students, not to consultants and other ridiculous expenditures that you're choosing, like administration. Please do your job.
The next speaker is Katie. Can you say your last name, please? O-U.
Yes.
O-U. After Katie will be Pally Pandaya.
Katie Al. You good, baby girl? Okay.
I'm nervous.
Okay, try that.
Have you ever had someone you looked up to as a kid? It can be an actress, an uncle, or a teacher. For me, it is a current 4th grade teacher, Miss Leong. But what will happen to my future in education without a supportive teacher like her? Good evening, everyone. My name is Katie. I am a 4th grade student at Tahleen Easton Elementary School. This is my speech to save my teacher and others from losing their jobs. My teacher is very loving, supportive, and patient with me and with all my other classmates. She takes her time with us, those who are having trouble with classwork and homework sometimes too. I feel that she puts her heart, energy, and her sense of responsibility toward us all and to put her previous students. As always, she motivates and encourages us to do our works and to learn so we'll be able to move on to 5th grade. She's also funny and she loves to share her experience with us. I consider her as a wonderful teacher, yet as also a great friend of mine. Without these supportive teachers, who will help us to learn? How are we going to be able to become successful? Who can we look up to anymore? This is the reason why you are all here. You have the strongest voice to help our teachers, schools, and the kids who deserve a better education system. Also, please support to decrease class size. Thank you for your time and your support.
Thank you. Next speaker is Haley Pandaya. After Haley Pandaya is Molly Wright.
Good evening. When I actually just figured out that there's a meeting today, I didn't want to say anything. And then I heard that the teachers are being laid off while the administrators are paid higher. I think what we need really is all of you to decide how many administrators we can cut so we can hire or retain qualified teachers in this community. I sit here and I listen to this, that I went to this meeting, I went to that meeting, and this is what I'm reporting about a meeting. How about coming back here for a meeting and telling us how many classrooms you visited, how many teachers you talked to, and how many students you consulted? You do not need a consultant to look for an administrator. Talk to the teachers. They will tell you what you need in an administrator. You will talk to the seniors. I think they probably have higher IQ than you think they do. I am seething right now. Dr. Smith, how many times I have met with you, and you can still not pronounce my name correctly. I am really, really hurt. We talked about compassion, and I don't see any. We have gone back and forth. Another thing is about the forensics. The teachers are fantastic. The private schools pay to get into this kind of a program. You guys have ready-made speech and debate program at Logan. I am just amazed. As somebody said, incompetence, I think I agree. Somebody said, we are with the teachers, they don't stand alone. All the parents here, we all stand with the teachers.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Next speaker is Molly Wright. After Molly Wright is Helene Das.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Molly Wright. I teach at James Logan High School. High school English teacher, English major, emphasis on rhetoric. I've gotten into Harvard twice. I'm a really good communicator. I see my class as a team, and my role in that team is to convey information to my students and then clearly and directly respond to their questions with the intention of removing any barriers to comprehension that would prevent them from doing their jobs. An aspect of bargaining that has alarmed me is our inability to work together as a team, or even to agree on the same set of facts about what is going on in our situation. We're on the same team. Our district, our teachers, and the public that we serve. At the district, your role is to communicate. It's crucial, it's central. You must facilitate clear, transparent communication with the intention of helping us move forward. Not just tell us what's going on and show us the charts and the graphs, but explain why it has to happen that way. And when we ask follow-up questions, explain why it can't be managed in another way, or better yet, be open to the overflowing room of suggestions and your overflowing inboxes. The resistance and refusal to share what you know completely, openly, and with the intention of complete transparency comes off as disingenuous, manipulative, and divisive. That serves none of us, and we want to move forward. Please do better. I believe that you can.
Next speaker is Helene Das. After Helene Das will be Grace Junio. I think that's how you say it, Juinio.
Hi, I'm Helene Das. I was born in California. I was educated in California, graduated from UCLA, moved up here because I was told this is an excellent school district. But God help us, bring back Guy Emanuel. He knew what to do. Secondly, why wasn't this meeting held in a larger venue? There are people all around here that don't know what's going on. Why didn't you get the auditorium in the Logan High School where everybody could be together? Lastly, why didn't you, Dr. Smith, stand up and say, hello, folks, I'm here to help you. I'm here to help you work this out. Folks are all around here. We should all be together, not separated by a wall. Okay? I am sorely dissatisfied and disappointed with this board. I have voted for Chima. I thought she was going to stand up for us. I will not vote for you again. You have been negligent in your jobs. I don't know what you care about. But I don't want some consultant figuring out what my kid's going to do. And I was well educated, so I know what's going on. Bring back Guy Emanuel or bring back his spirit.
Next speaker
Cannot be defeated.
Grace Juinio, Juinio, and after Grace is Krista Krishna.
They don't even know who that is. That's a shame. Look on their face, my God.
Is Grace here? Next speaker will be Krista Krishna. After Krista will be Preeti, Phadke, I think. Are you Krista?
I am.
Thank you.
Okay, I am Krista Krishna. I am a parent, first of all. I am also a teacher, but not for this district. My husband and I, over 20 years ago, moved to this district because we heard New Haven was great for students. We came, we settled, we're still in the same home, and we've had our children, and they're both at Logan right now. And and they're not, this school district isn't known what it was back in the 90s. This was the technology school district. This was everything I wanted my child to be in, and it's showing me that it's not. I'm partially thankful that my kids are both in high school and will be exiting soon. But for you teachers, I'm from Fremont. I've only been in Fremont for 4 years. I'm a tenured teacher. I have a permanent position. And our school district just ended bargaining, and we found $16 million for us. And it was hidden. So check those numbers one more time, because these teachers need it. As an elementary teacher, 30 to 1. I began teaching in 95 at 30 to 1. 20 is a much better number and more appropriate for these kids and their learning.
You're right.
And I want my community to stand out.
Yep.
You're not standing up.
Next speaker is Preeti, and I think the last name is Phadke. And after Preeti will be Rahul Agarwal. What's that, 31?
Personally, I think that teachers play a big role in our society. Teachers help students learn and grow. When there are more kids in lower grade classrooms, it's hard for them to learn, especially at a young age. I believe that younger kids should have more one-on-one activities with teachers because the little students need a lot of learning. With more kids in the classrooms, it will be harder for teachers to teach. Cutting teachers' jobs would be a really bad thing to do because the teachers give the next generation knowledge of the past and a great future.
Thank you.
Woohoo!
Thank you. Our next speaker is Rahul Agarwal. After Rahul is Jessica. Last name Junger. Is Rahul here? Rahul Agarwal. Next speaker is Jessica Junger. Okay. Rebecca Tran will be the next speaker, and then Paulden UKYAB will be after Rebecca.
My name is Rebecca Tran, and my husband's name is Paulden Ukyam. Our daughter attends first grade at Delaney Easton Elementary. We are asking you to reverse your decision to increase class sizes and lay off teachers. We chose for our daughter to attend Union City because the school district's policy is to promote educational equity and inclusion for all of its students. We are here today not just for our daughter Colette, but for the children and the parents who may not be able to come here and speak up for themselves about a critical time in their children's lives, primary school. Your board has identified student groups. It guarantees equal opportunity and access to programs. African Americans, Hispanics, ESL learners, Caucasians, Asians, low income, sexual orientation, and students with disabilities. Such diversity means that students come with diverse abilities and different learning styles. Each student requires individualized instruction to reach their fullest development. When you increase class sizes for grades 1 to 3, you take away the ability for teachers to effectively provide individualized instruction. It is already difficult to provide this kind of instruction for 25 students, but 30 students, each with differing abilities and learning styles, means this will not happen. We all know there are students with natural ability and supportive home environments who will manage, but students who need additional attention, students who may not have the support they need at home, they will be left behind. I grew up attending public schools in San Jose. Every year, teachers were given pink slips and classroom sizes were increased. I observed a lot of students fall behind because the teacher was unable to give them the full attention they deserve. I also observed this in higher education at San Jose State, where I tutored students who somehow managed to graduate from high school but failed to meet the basic writing and math skills necessary to take English and math courses at college level. Do we want to go down this path of leaving behind the children who most need our help? Do we renege our promise to provide equal opportunities to all students of all needs and abilities? I do not see how this can be achieved by providing less to students.
Thank you.
By giving them less time with their teachers.
Next speaker is Paulden. Can you say your last name, please?
Ukyab.
Ukiab. After Paulden Ukiab will be Terry Grunwald.
Board Policy 4,331 states that classified employees may be laid off for lack of work on the basis of a bona fide reduction of services. What the board has done is created a legal fiction. When the classroom size is increased, I suppose the board's reasoning for laying teachers off is that fewer teachers are needed. By increasing class size, you have created a legal fiction that you need fewer teachers because there are fewer classes to teach. The legal fiction is just that, a fiction and intellectually dishonest. Your policy requires a bona fide basis for the layoffs, and this is not one. Can the board honestly say that our children don't need these teachers? Can the board persuade a parent that a student attending a public school is better off in a larger class size? Or is it more truthful to say that these students would have a better chance where class sizes are smaller? There are families who will leave the district, and the district will lose enrollment. This is not a path we want to take. Board Policy 6010 requires that the administration shall, and that means it's a mandate to you, consult with instructional staff to develop and maintain instructional objectives. I am not aware of any of the teachers who endorse your legal fiction. No teacher truly believes that teaching 30 students is more effective than teaching 25 for elementary school. Board Policy 6151 recognizes that smaller classes contribute to student learning. The highest priority for maintaining small class sizes shall, again it's a mandate, be in the primary grades for grades kindergarten through 3. The district shall annually make progress toward maintaining an average of not more than 24 students. What the board has decided to do is go in the opposite direction. This is not the path we want to take.
Thank you. Next speaker.
We personally know of 2 teachers. I am going to continue. We personally know 2 teachers who are being laid off. My child's kindergarten teacher, Mr. Long, and my child's first grade teacher, Ms. Correa. Mr. Long made my child want to be a teacher, and Ms. Correa continues to provide a great inspiration. How can we tell our future children, our future teachers, our children, that we don't value our teachers, that we cannot be fair to them or the children that they are trying to teach?
Board Policy 4000 states, for personnel states that the district human resources should be allocated to make the greatest contribution to instruction and to develop a climate for optimum staff performance and satisfaction. Laying off teachers is not the path to take. How can teachers perform optimally when they are worried about their jobs? How can teachers contribute greatly to instruction when they are overwhelmed by the number of students in their classroom? While the board has its policies.
Next speaker, please. Thank you so much for your comments.
Other aspects of the teacher's job. For grades 1 through 3, teachers are expected to be caregivers.
Next speaker, please.
Who are not able to do everything for themselves. They must impose discipline, teach the children to be self-sufficient. This attention takes time away from teaching the academic courses. We have volunteered in our child's classroom and know how much time it takes to do seemingly mundane tasks to get ready to teach. You are failing to give proper credit where credit is due.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Terry Grunwald. After Terry Grunwald is Ronnie Kahn. Mrs. Grunwald, you're up, please.
You are here because we elected you. You are here because of a moral obligation to our children.
Can you please be respectful of your time?
Policies not to retreat. You must reverse your decision, or as a community, we will organize and we will vote you off the board.
After Terry Grunwald will be Roy Kahn.
Just want to say I voted yes. I'm sure a lot of us did, maybe all of us here. I was going to start by saying, as board members, I know you want to do what's right for New Haven, but I'm not really so sure since 2 of them are not here. But I do want to say what's right for New Haven is to listen to teachers and parents, not just administrators. The district has manufactured a crisis through disinformation. Remember last time that website's infographic about which I spoke, which is still up, by the way, with all of that false information about teacher salaries. Propaganda, some mythical financial crisis, and lies by omission, because how come administrators' salaries aren't listed on their fancy infographic? This is used to justify the 0% offer, while at the same time, the top 4 administrators receive between 5 and 6% raises. Where is the board's leadership on this? Annette Hellman has created some fancy voodoo economics to erase the $12.5 million surplus we ended with last year, along with the extra money we got this year. The district says it's on the precipice of a looming financial disaster of epic proportions, a sky is falling kind of crisis. NHTA knows this isn't true. Where is the board's leadership on this? The district is getting programs such as class size reduction in 1 through 3. Where is the board's leadership on this? When is the last time you spoke with union leadership to learn what we know about the district's financial health? When is the last time you spoke with your teachers and other certificated staff about our working conditions, our feelings of betrayal, and the lack of respect we experience from the district? Where is the board's leadership on this? We're in the midst of taking a strike authorization vote. None of us wants to strike, but we will if we have to. You have a job to do, a very important one. You are the ones who can demand that the district bargaining team negotiate with us in good faith. You are the ones in the position to question the district's version of their finances and demand answers. You are the stewards of our district. Where is your leadership?
Next speaker is Rui Khan. After Rui Khan, it's only one name on the card, Cecilia from Hillview Crest.
Good evening. My name is Rui Khan, and I'm a senior and the athletics commissioner at Logan. All right, thank you.
There you go, right to your mouth.
I won't lie, I'm pretty scared to be up here right now, but I want to be able to do something that our students aren't utilizing, and that is our voice to speak up for what we believe in. Being someone who spends more time at school at home than I am at home, I've come to build so many relationships with teachers I've never even had. I've made and lost so many friendships, but I found consistency within my teachers. I can also say that one thing I'll miss most about high school is being so close to and supported by the adults around me. I wouldn't call myself so much as a teacher's pet, but as someone who naturally finds an interest in people and their stories. And I found teachers are some of the most interesting, hardworking, and selfless people I've ever met. As someone who struggles with mental health, I have severe anxiety, which can get in the way of me functioning like a normal human being and getting in the way of mundane tasks. I can vividly remember having a panic attack nearly 2 hours after school and not wanting to go home because of my situation there. I was over in the 500s when I saw one of my favorite teachers' light on and his sign saying he was free, and all I did was walk in and he knew something was wrong. He sat down and talked to me until I calmed down. He was patient and genuinely listened to me. I've never felt so heard and cared for. And I wanted to say thank you to that teacher who's unfortunately not here, but that's Mr. Lamb. I honestly believe I wouldn't have gotten through the last 4 years, let alone be here today, without the support and care of my teachers. They go above and beyond the expectation, whether it's being after school for hours, or helping students that are struggling, or supporting the school events that us leadership kids put on all the time. That's why I believe that they deserve the 10% raise they're going for. My teachers have always been there for me, and it's about time I start sticking up for them.
Next speaker is Cecilia from Hillview Crest, and after her is Camellia from Hillview Crest. Oh, you.
Yes, me.
Yes, sir.
I know.
Good evening. Okay. My name is Cecilia Flores, and I'm a parent at CCMS in Hillview Crest. I'm here today with the Hillview Crest parents to address the concern and upset we have as we head into a school year of 30-1. Letting go of 6 of our highly qualified teachers is absurd. HVC is a Title I school with over 70% free and reduced lunch households, over 70% ESL students, and you want to let go of teachers you have invested in personal development and training. These teachers have trained to invest into our students, and now they'll be gone. Hillview has had combo classes yearly for a while now, and now more combo classes. This is just upsetting. We all face challenges every day and are limited to our choices, but as a school district, hurting our students should not be a choice. Now, our teachers are not receiving a pay increase, but they will see an increase in their students in their classroom. How does that add up? It's simply not fair to our teachers and our students. We urge the district and school board to offer our teachers the raise they need and they much deserve. 30-1 ratio is now going to hurt my child and many others with reduced one-on-one time with their teacher and more distraction. Not to mention the safety hazard. Our classrooms can barely accommodate the students now. There is no room to put another 4 to 6 desks in there. Now, touching the topic of getting rid of our awesome social worker, Mr. Robert. Mr. Robert is an asset we cannot afford to lose. He works tirelessly with many of our students at HBC that need his intervention. At a Latino advisory parent meeting, I asked you, Dr. Smith, why did we not have Kids First, like Sarah's in elementary? Why do we not have the after-school program? Why do we not have summer school for our HBC students? You told me, but we gave you guys a social worker. And now that's going to get taken away. This is just HBC keeps getting screwed again. So I see in SSC, our scores are going up in the past years. That's due to the great admin we now have in place. And now we're potentially losing our assistant principal. These changes are frustrating to me and all these parents that are here and to our school community that needs the help. Our referrals and suspension numbers have gone down thanks to Mr. Robert and Judith, our assistant principal, working as a team with our teachers. To know that potentially HBC is working backwards instead of continuing on the great path it's been is upsetting. New Haven seems to be moving away from providing equity for all our students. Give our teachers the pay they deserve. HBC needs an AP, a social worker, and current teachers all in place, and then some. And we will continue to fight with our teachers to make it possible.
Yeah, what she said.
Speaker is Amelia from Hillview Crest.
Yes, my name
Your
is
last name, please.
Camelia Santos is my name.
And after Camelia Santos, it would be Julie from Hillview Crest.
Yes. My daughter, I am a parent of Hillview Crest kindergarten. My daughter is in Miss Selby's class. Miss Selby is one of the many teachers that will be let go. And I'm here as an educator and also I'm an administrator, and I'm a firm believer of human investment, and I can't think of any more of a much more deserving title for teachers, because they invest in human development. And one of the things that I wanted to stand up here for is to voice out my support to educators, because not only are they educators, they're caregivers, they're confidants, they are great influencers to our children. And speaking on the class ratio of 30-1, it just doesn't seem right. As an administrator, that's attempting to increase enrollment. In that point of view, in my experience, parents' biggest concern is the ratio between teacher and students. And so I know for sure that if we are trying to attract enrollment and increase enrollment in our district, this will not be a solution. This will be a detriment to people trying to enroll in this district. Secondly, I am also an educator, and for me as a teacher, one of the biggest ally I have is building relationship, meaning building meaningful relationships. And I believe that this is the cornerstone of truly making a difference in children's lives. And I know that because I experience it every day as an educator and as an administrator. And last time, Dr. Smith, during the meeting for what is that? For the budget cuts, one of the things that you said was going to be cut, or is not in the list of your budget, is what is that? I'm sorry. Yes, professional growth. And I know that you said also that unless it's directly impacting the classroom, it will not be added on to the budget. And for me, as a parent and as an educator, once again, I think that whenever we educate teachers, they bring that into the classroom. Whether or not you can physically see it, it's palpable.
Thank you. Next speaker is Julie. Julie, state your last name.
Julie Roach, R-O-C-H-E. Good evening, I'm Julie Roach. I'm another parent from Hillview Crest. I have a kindergartner and a second grader at Hillview Crest, and I represent many parents, all these parents and many who aren't here, who are just as frustrated as I am and want to see teachers given the pay and the support they need and deserve. We have a petition that we're going to be turning in with hundreds of signatures from our parents at school.
Gila Crest has made so many great strides, as the other parents have talked about, but you're going to be hamstringing us, cutting us off of the needs if you take away our assistant vice principal and our social worker. It's what allows the teachers to do this great work on the social emotional curriculum in the classroom. An investment has been made at our school. These teachers are trained in this new curriculum. You don't take an employee who's been trained and replace them with someone who you have to retrain and who may not even want to be there. It does not make financial sense if you're looking at the budget. Our kids need to see the same faces that they've learned to trust and rely on. My son's kindergarten teacher shared a story with me the other day that my son ran up to her, he's now in the 2nd grade, and shared his writing. He was so excited because he'd struggled with writing in the kindergarten. Miss Selby's here somewhere, and he was so excited to see her because he knew she'd be proud of him, and she was. And my son's 1st grade teacher, when I was volunteering in the classroom, I saw her old students come in and give her hugs at the end of the day, and I said to her, wow, that is so nice, and that's Miss Hampton, she's here somewhere too. And she said, well, those are my kiddos, and I worry about them. These are 2 of the teachers that are on our list that have been given pink slips this year. That continuity of care is something we wish for all of our kids. That depth of care at our school is something that will be incredibly missed if we lose these teachers. Don't arbitrarily shuffle around teachers for one financial gain, only to lose the investment you've made in the teachers that love our kids. We all want that at all of our schools. Let's be more savvy than that. Let's think first of the kids and give them the best chance of success we have. We stand with the teachers, and should it come to it, we will stand with them during a strike as well.
Our next speaker is Nikhil. First name only, after Nikhil will be Sashan Patil. Is Nikhil here? Last name, please. When you get to the mic, can you spell it?
Tamvada,
Can you spell it, please?
Tamvada.
Begin.
Hello, my name is Nikhil, and I'm a 4th grade student at Delaney Easton Elementary. One day I heard that my teacher and 6 other teachers got pink slips and had to lose their jobs. So today I want to support our district's teachers and tell you why you should pay our teachers more money. Here are a few supporting reasons for my opinion why teachers should get more money for their hard work. The first reason is that why remove teachers, especially if they're new to our district? They come because they like the school districts, and if you tell them to leave, they won't like the school district and they won't earn money because teaching gives them money. The second reason is that teachers in the school district want to teach, and students may also like the teacher a lot and don't want the teacher to leave. The teachers will also miss the kids they are teaching or students they taught. Teachers like to teach, and teaching is their passion. They don't want to stop teaching. They don't want to leave. I hope this speech persuaded you to pay the teachers more money and not lay off teachers.
Our next speaker is Sashan Patil. After Sashan Patil will be Valerie Aaron. Is Sashan Patil here? Our next speaker is Valerie Aaron. After Valerie Aaron will be Azalea Valenzuela.
I'm Valerie Aaron, a 30-year veteran at Logan High School, and an SBAC teacher who spent 5 hours testing today. So I have a quick vocabulary lesson for the board. OUS is an adjective ending, a suffix meaning possessing or full of. OUS. This situation is disastrous, enormous, and educationally hazardous. For illustrious students, their achievements tenuous, are contract incongruous, and disadvantageous. With the board acrimonious, obstreperous, and contentious, masked by the disingenuous, the devious, and the treacherous. These pretend leaders, pretentious, preposterous. Their actions surreptitious and ridiculous. Intentions conspicuous, duplicitous, and disharmonious. Their offer, prosperous? Strike that. Generous? Strike that. Offer of dubious value, so incredulous, union furious over the malicious and callous devaluing of our arduous and zealous efforts, no more hiding or being anonymous. Although it makes me nervous, go ahead, call me blasphemous, but there's no chance they'll cut the superfluous. They're down a pernicious path, having forgotten the righteous. The board is just venomous, actually viperous, yet we're the ones who will strike, unless the end is of the OUS.
Thank you. Next speaker is Azalea Valenzuela. After Azalea Valenzuela is Donna Katzen.
Speak your mind, baby girl.
Okay. Hi, my name is Azalea Valenzuela. My teacher is Miss Leong and I'm in 4th grade. I feel that teachers shouldn't get laid off because teachers work so hard and they get paid almost $72,000 a year, when the superintendent gets $280,000 a year. They also shouldn't get laid off because it is very expensive to live in the Bay Area. The cheapest house is $700,000, and the most expensive house is $1.5 million. Last and most importantly, my education. Out of my 5 years being in Delaney Easton Elementary, Miss Young is my favorite out of all because she knows me best and she takes a lot of time with me and she helped me with my reading and writing skills. Thank you, Miss Young and teachers.
Thank you.
And all of you should be ashamed because you are laying off all these teachers that are amazing and that are treating the students like they are their children.
We were just informed that the bathrooms are now out of order. I'm not sure what happened, but our next speaker is Donna Katzen. After Donna Katzen is Jackie Parmar.
Thank you. I'm speaking on behalf of one of my students' mom. She couldn't be here, and I hope you guys all listen. I know it's a long night, and it's kind of disrespectful for you guys to be on your phones. Board members, Superintendent Smith, I too went to Hillview Crest. Now I am a concerned parent to a 3rd grader who attends this grade school. I have recently been informed that the teachers who work in our school district are suffering due to budget cuts and not receiving the pay that they deserve. My son has grown so much in life because of the help and support of the Hillview Crest staff who has supported him, the counselor and the social worker, Mr. Roberts. Unfortunately, my son hasn't had the smoothest life, and because of it, he receives help and support through Hillview Crest's social worker. If these budget cuts get cut, my son, who has no medical insurance, will have the little bit of help he has given being taken away. Taken away. These difficulties that he endures has affected his confidence as well, and it has made it harder for him to learn. Combo classes, I fear, will only take away the extra help he receives from his teacher. The children need more one-on-one help, not more students in a classroom like 30-to-1 as you propose. That was me, what I just said, my own words. The students are our future and are being molded right now as we speak. The students and teachers need all the help they can get. Please
Please do not make it more difficult for our teachers to live and for our children to learn and become the best people that they can be. Thank you, Crystal Gardner.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Jackie Parmar. After Jackie Parmar is Jessica Trapsey.
Good evening. My name is Jackie Parmar. I've never been to a board meeting before. I am a parent of 3 children at Alvarado Elementary School, and I just received an email from my second grade year teacher this afternoon, and I was appalled to hear that we are offering our teachers 0%. Now, I know that teachers, they commit their lives to educating and nurturing the children. I don't see how this is possible. I also read that there's a $26 million surplus in the budget. So why are we going straight to teachers? I work at a hospital. I am a nurse. When there's budget deficits, we go to federal mediation. If we do have to lay off in budget cuts, we do non-essential staff. We do ancillary. We cut off change vendors. We cut off consultants. But we don't lay off and cut off our nurses and doctors. Who will care for the patients? Who will teach our children if we continue to do this? I don't understand this. So the other thing that I want to talk about is this 30-to-1 ratio. What is going on here? My daughter is in second grade. Her ratio is 22. My son is in third grade. It's a 23 ratio. I know 20 years ago, the ratio was 25-to-1. Why are we 20 years later? Why are we still in the same place? And why are we going backwards? Why are we increasing? My daughter has a speech impediment, and I have a friend whose son has a learning disability. And if it was not for the teachers who identified that and consulted us, we were not able to catch that early on. So how can a teacher with 30 students pay attention to their students and see if there's a disability or if they have learning needs? How do they do that? We don't have a teacher's aide. I volunteer as much as I can. There are parents that volunteer to help out the classrooms and to read to students. The community, the parents, we respect our teachers, we love our teachers, we try to support them. And not giving raises and increasing the workload and underpaying, actually not paying, is a disrespect and a slap in the face. So I will stand by my teachers. I will not bring my kids to school during that strike. And if I have to, I will move to another school. I will move my children to another district.
Thank you.
If possible. Thank you.
Next speaker, Jessica Trapsey. And after Jessica Trapsey is Charlene Smith.
I'm so tiny. I am. Speaking of tiny, I'm Jessica Trapsey. I am 4'10" without my heels. And my biggest concern is the 30-to-1 ratio, okay? I've been volunteering in my child's class. He goes to Easton. He's a current second grade. I volunteer on a monthly basis since he was in kindergarten. I want to know exactly how are you guys going to fit all these extra kids when I can barely fit myself? Mind you, the ratio is only 22-to-1. Furthermore, I think that I strongly believe with the class increases, you're looking at kids who are struggling academically, mentally, and emotionally. And my son was one of them. He struggled all 3. And we were so blessed to have teachers that took the extra time day in and day out, even on weekends, to reach out to us and say, hey, what can I do to help you? What can I do to help you help your son and get back on track? And he's striving because of the amazing principals that we have and the staff that we have. So, yes, I believe you guys should do your job, take care of the educators so they can continue to make our children's future brighter because they are the future, right?
You're right.
And they put in so much love, and I've seen them cry. I've seen their struggles. I've also seen their wins. And this is a big disservice to them and to our children and us parents. Yeah, we're going to stand with you guys. So.
Thank you, Jessica.
Next speaker, Charlene Smith. After Charlene Smith is Kathleen Suarez.
Hello, my name is Charlene Smith. I am a voting member of this community with 2 students at Tahleen Easton. And I am here this evening because I'm tired of not receiving any answers to the emails that I keep sending regarding what in the world is going on. I am here because I am fed up with the last 3 out of 4 years of coming to these meetings. It is just disheartening to have to explain to my 6-year-old son why the teachers are standing outside. I am here because I want answers. And I understand you cannot give answers this evening, but your community is asking for them. And when I say your community, it is more than your teachers. The parents are going to stand behind any strike. Not For the last 3 out of 4 years, I have been asking for answers. For the last 3 out of 4 years, my family is faced with a decision. Should we continue here in New Haven, or should we go somewhere else? I am tired of having that conversation with my children. I am ready to say I am done. There are other options out here. I do not have to send them to New Haven, and I do not have to support this board and your decisions.
Next speaker is Kathleen Suarez. After Kathleen Suarez is Jocelyn Love.
Hi, I'm Kathleen. I have a daughter, a first grade daughter in Tahleen Easton, and I have a 6th grade son in IVCMS. I'm here because I feel grateful and I feel blessed. My kids have the best teachers, best schools. I volunteer in Art Vista program and have personally seen how well our teachers run their class and positively impact our kids, our children. My kids have grown not only academically, their teachers have also helped them become well-rounded individuals. My kids had challenges they faced, and their teachers have helped them thrive and continued in their growth. They helped me raise my kids. With a small class size, the teachers are able to provide the individualized attention that our children need. Reducing the class size is going backwards and will negatively impact this growth and may also impact the community's overall morale and may also drive parents to opt for private schools, which could bring down enrollment. Each time I see news articles stating how the U.S. education is sliding in ranking behind many developed nations. It is just now that it is clear to me why and how is that. And do you see that too? Do you see why that's happening? What is contributing to this decline? And that is the legacy that you leave behind. Like all these years that every year that the teachers have to keep on negotiating to be treated fairly. Reducing the class size, laying off teachers, and not giving our teachers a raise is a move in the wrong direction. We need to strengthen education system by keeping class size small, keeping our highly qualified teachers, and giving our teachers their raises so our kids can compete in a global economy. Especially in the next 10 years, most experts predict that more and more jobs will be automated. Our kids need to be able to compete. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Jocelyn Love. After Jocelyn Love is John Barron.
Okay, I have spoken several times at past board meetings on behalf of our teachers, and it seems like parents' concerns have fallen on deaf ears. To the board, you are elected officials. The people of this community elected you to have our schools and teachers' best interests. It is your job to provide our administration with the knowledge and support they need to make wise decisions. You are failing at your job. Have any of you volunteered in a classroom, in particular an elementary school classroom lately? I think it should be required that you do. I have volunteered, and I cannot imagine doing what these teachers, aka saints and angels, do day in and day out. I am exhausted after a few hours. They are doing more than just academically teaching our kids. They go above and beyond emotionally, spiritually, and financially. Imagine increasing the ratio to 30 kids to 1 teacher. You are asking them to be robots. It's ludicrous. What kind of people do you think go into the teaching profession? It is definitely not people that are in it for the money. They are caring, compassionate, loving souls that, mind you, you wouldn't be where you are in your careers without them. The parents, we are taking this personal now. You are messing with our kids, our teachers, and our community. 0% is a slap in the face to all of us. These pink slips going out to highly qualified and experienced teachers is a damn shame, and that is saying it nicely. Speaking for my schools, the ones receiving a pink slip at Chavez and Kitayama, it is a disappointment and a huge loss for our students and community. Some of these are Union City residents that have been giving back and serving our communities that they were raised in, and this is how we treat them. It is a disgrace. If you let it get this far and the teachers do choose to strike, we will stand behind them. You will lose.
Thank you. Our next speaker is John Barron. After John, it's not until 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. Next speaker is John Barron. After John Barron is Abby Barron.
So many great speakers tonight. Board, Superintendent, I'm extremely saddened to be here in front of you again. My daughter is in 5th grade at Delane Easton. She doesn't even like school. She's here to support her teachers, 2 of whom have pink slips. But rather than speak about why I'm here, let's talk about why you're here. Increase the number of students who are college, career, and life ready. Through personalized learning, incorporate the 5 C's in support of providing common core aligned instruction and assessment. Ensure that the student trajectories indicate growth and increased math and reading levels at elementary grades. Ensure community confidence in the district by increasing participation, which you've done, communication and collaboration between district, schools, and stakeholders. 5, maintain a strong and sustainable budget. I would point out that budgets are to support those previous 4 things. How do larger class sizes, fewer teachers who feel disrespected by this board, and poor faith negotiations support these goals? These are the board adopted goals that's on the website. You can find it. I've been to this forum before. I've listened to the board. I've seen you pretend to listen to us and deflect and even lie to us. And still, Union City continues to devalue its teachers. Superintendent and board, you're again failing the community, the teachers, and our students. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Abby Barron. After Abby Barron is Surinder Singh.
Hello, first off, my name is Abigail Barron. I'm here to support all the teachers in New Haven District. They are getting laid off, and we're studying geometry right now. If we could make a graph right now of the board members' pay and the teachers' pay, the board members would be climbing, and the teachers would be going in a straight line or declining. You guys were voted here for a reason, that you guys would do well and support our community. You're failing. We do not respect that you are laying off teachers and increasing class sizes. I asked several of my peers how they would feel about more cramped class sizes. They said they would feel claustrophobic, nervous, and squished. Our teacher would not be able to focus on every one of us individually, and test scores would go down, people would fail, and no. I know several people who used to want to be board members. They're not so sure anymore. Is this what you're going to leave behind? I don't know.
Thank you. Our next speaker is, again, it's hard to read the first name, but it looks like Surinder Singh. No Surrender Singh. Next speaker is Lauren Sorovi. After Lauren, oh Jesus. After Lauren Sorovi will be Scott Schroeder.
That's where I am.
You're a little taller than this.
Okay, that works.
All right, everybody take a deep breath. It's been a long night, but I want you to listen to me, all right? All right, I'm Lauren Zarovi. I've got a first grader at Delane Easton Elementary School. His fantastic teacher is here tonight asking for the pay she deserves. So I live on an ordinary street in Union City. There are 6 families on our block with elementary age kids. In 2017, 2 years ago, all 6 attended Delane Easton Elementary School. Anybody want to hazard a guess as to how many will be attending Delane Easton Elementary School in the fall? 3. 3 families are choosing to stay at Delane Easton, myself being one of them. And when I ask my neighbors why they're choosing to send their kids to private school instead of Delane Easton, surprisingly, they had the same answer: class size. That's what we care about. It's class size. We don't want our kid to be one of 30 in a crowded classroom. We would rather send our kid to Challenger or Prince of Peace or any number of other private schools out there, Fremont Christian, we can all name them, and be one of 22. And you know what? I don't blame those families. I don't. Okay, it's my understanding that our decrease in state funding is linked to declining enrollment, right? But our enrollment is not declining because families are fleeing California due to housing prices. Our enrollment is declining because families are fleeing the public schools due to high class sizes. This problem will only continue to escalate if this continues. And as a parent, I'm saying that I stand with the teachers, and this 30-to-1 is unacceptable. If you think that enrollment is declining now, well, get ready, because the mass exodus is coming, and then you'll really have a budget problem.
Thank you. Our next speaker, Scott Schroeder. After Scott Schroeder is Becky Schroeder. Is Scott Schroeder here?
He had to take the kids home.
So
I'm Becky Schroeder.
Becky Schroeder.
Yep. So my 3 children who are in the district, and my husband had to leave. They were troopers for a while, but they had to go to bed. School night, yes. All right, good evening. My name is Becky Schroeder, and I teach at IVCMS. Tonight, we are here to ask, I know this is the board, but I'm here to really push the district bargaining team to go into fact-finding this Thursday and be ready to sit and honestly negotiate with our NHUSD bargaining team. This whole year we wanted the district to come to each meeting with ready to be open to negotiate and to work with us and give us what we deserve. We are not zero. We are worth far more than zero. And I'm one of the hundreds of teachers who do not end their day at 3:05, who collaborate with their team to develop lessons, who create common assessments, who have been part of many district initiatives. I am a teacher who stays until 9 p.m. on the Friday before spring break, because we had to do logistics for a field trip that was coming up right when we returned from spring break. 9 p.m. I decided to stay because that's what you do when you need to figure things out and plan and make sure our kids arrive to Levi Stadium safely and they come back safely. We achieved our goal. When I think of all the extra hours I have given to my students, I am okay with it because they deserve more than zero. The district bargaining team needs to show up to the table on Thursday ready to make more of a contribution than zero. We are tired. I am tired. But we're here making our voices heard to you and to the district bargaining team.
Thank you.
I'm going to now take my time because I think I took my husband's time. I am not expecting a 10% raise. Would I like it? Yes. Oh, yes. Have you lived here? You guys live here. It is crazy expensive. And I, too, would like to help pay for my kids to go to college. For many of these reasons, I just want to let you know, I did vote yes for the strike authorization. I do not want to walk. I do not want to strike, but I will stand behind my teachers to do and fight for what is right, because we are more than zero. So again, please, district bargaining team, stay on Thursday. Stay as long as it takes to get the job done. Bring back something to the table more than zero. It's what we deserve. It's what our students deserve. We come here every day to do the best that we can, and so we deserve more than zero. One last request, and this is really important. As we end this year, our fearless NHTA bargaining team will have to meet with you again to start working on our next 3-year contract negotiations. Let's not repeat this year. I am a very reflective teacher. I've been taught that and have seen that with many great teachers that I've come in contact with. If I made an error while teaching, I find that I could have taught something better. I recognize it and I do better. Please reflect on this past year with bargaining and do better. Thank you.
Next speaker is Sergeant Stan Rodriguez. After Sergeant Rodriguez is Jaime Patino. Sergeant Rodriguez.
Excuse me, member of the board. Sergeant Rodriguez, as you know, is a Union City police officer. He was called away to duty, so he had me read this letter on his behalf from the Union City Police Officers Association. To the New Haven School Board District, my name is Stan Rodriguez, a sergeant, and I am the current president of the Union City Police Officers Association. I'm writing this letter in support of the men and women of the New Haven Teachers Association. As a former RP instructor at James Logan High School, I understand the struggles accommodated to larger class sizes and the task it takes and the difficult job of coaching and teaching is a more challenging endeavor. I personally taught James Logan High School for almost 10 years. In my role as a union president, I am tasked with a difficult and challenging job of negotiating a contract for our membership that is both reasonable and fair to all of my members and stakeholders. When economic times are hard, most would agree to compromise for the good of the order. But when the economic times are good and there is a surplus, it is reversed. I find it difficult to understand the concept of 0% offered to these hardworking teachers' salaries. Having experienced staff due to comparable in pay to surrounding districts keeps teachers here at home in New Haven and not transferring to a surrounding district. I'm tasking you to change the direction of this contract negotiation by working with the New Haven Teachers Association to agree to a contract that is reasonable and fair to their teachers while being affordable to the New Haven School District. Sincerely, Sergeant Stan Rodriguez, President, Union City Police Officers Association.
Thank you. Next speaker is Jaime Patino. After Jaime Patino is Roland Valina. Jaime Patino here. Roland Valina. Next speaker is Jake Latham. After Jake Latham is Soha Mansour.
Good evening, Mr. Smith. I came here a year ago. It's the first time I stepped foot in this room. And I listened to you tell us how you wanted to give students an experience. Well, here it is. Here's your experience. Here's Union City on your doorstep giving you an experience. How do you like it, sir? I give you an F on your report card. That's right, I wish to have you removed from office. You are not worthy to sit up there. I have a daughter named Chloe Latham. She's a second grader at Delaney Easton. I stepped foot in this school, and I was on the school site council. And I was appalled learning of the budget cuts. $56,000. Well, this year, our school operates on $14,000. How many of you here can keep your lights on in Union City for $14,000? I can't. How do you expect to run a school for $14,000? Can you answer me? Don't just look at me, answer. You're seriously not going to answer? Maybe you would like to answer to the governor, okay? Can you read that up there? All employees are responsible for education. And you, sir, I bite my thumb at you.
Next speaker is Soha Mansour. After Soha Mansour is Jennifer Faria.
Hi, my name is Soha Mansour. I am a junior at James Logan High School, and I am absolutely repulsed with the situation here today. I think it is disgusting how teachers have to come stand here basically begging you for the pay that they already deserve. And they know that, and I as a student know that, and you all know that. So I shouldn't even be standing here. I should not have to be here. A 16-year-old girl should not be telling you that you should be able to do basic math and get it in the budget. No. You are cutting a class that is, or you are threatening to cut a class that is essential to my future. I plan to major in physics. What am I supposed to do if you take away AP Physics 2 next year? That puts me completely behind other teachers, or not other teachers, other students who are applying in the same major. And it also puts my teacher at risk. She said she is willing to teach 3 classes. She already teaches AP Physics 1, she's teaching regular physics, and she's willing to teach AP Physics 2, which is more than she needs to do. But the fact that she's willing to put in that 300% for me, and you're willing to put in 0% for her, disgusting and despicable. So I think that if you guys are looking for a place, oh, we need to get money, we don't have money in the budget. I think you should start the cuts at your salary. Thank you.
Next speaker is Jen Faria. After Jen Faria is Serena Sarangi.
This is going to be an interactive speech, you know. Jennifer Faria, first grade at Easton, 21 years now. The New Haven teachers began taking a strike authorization vote yesterday, and it continued today out in front of the district office, just in case you didn't hear us. And I don't know how many reasons you need to understand why myself and 600 teachers will be authorizing a strike vote. But here are my top 6 reasons why I voted yes. Number 1. Your detrimental decision to end class size reduction, even though our district goals are to keep class sizes low. You voted recently to increase class sizes 30-to-1 in grades 1, 2, and 3 is why I voted yes. Number 2, the unnecessary layoff notices of 25 of the most highly qualified teachers is why I voted yes. Number 3, an ongoing salary offer at 0% from the district office is why I voted yes. Number 4, a $26 million surplus at the end of last year is why I voted yes. Number 5, the devaluing of New Haven teachers by this district is why I voted yes. And number 6, my bargaining team, just plain and simple, I support them, is why I voted yes. New Haven Board of Education, I urge you. You must restore class size reduction in grades 1, 2, and 3. You must rescind the layoff notices, and you must direct your bargaining team to settle a contract with a reasonable salary increase of more than 0%. How many more reasons do you need to know before you know that we will go on strike? You're running out of time. Why? Because I voted yes!
Thank you. Next speaker is Serena Sarangi. After Serena Sarangi is Melina Mofidi.
Good evening. My name is Serena Sharani. I am I guess a parent of, my son goes to Kiriyama Elementary, and I'm also an educator with Fremont Unified, and I have been for the last 14 years. I have taught everything from science to, I've taught every grade, first, third, fifth, sixth, and we saw this, we did a class size increase in our district. And when I taught fifth grade, that bubble of kids, we saw that they had holes in their knowledge, and they were not performing as well as other classes. So that is a big mistake, wanting to increase class sizes 30-1. It's not right. And it just turns the primary grades into like crowd control. They can't do anything. They need that time to work on reading, writing, the basics. Because after third grade is when they start reading. I mean, those are great reading years for comprehension. And then after third grade, they are supposed to read in order to learn. But from first to third, they're learning to read. And so, you know the statistics also. They said that people that don't have a very good reading level at third grade, they can tell that they are on the pipeline going into the jails. So we don't want that for our kids. Please don't do that. Prioritize your budget for the teachers and for the children of this community.
Thank you. Two more speakers. Next speaker is Melina Mofidi. After Melina Mofidi will be Joe Angeles. This is Joe's last one.
Hello, my name is Melina Mofidi. I'm an 8th grader at IVCMS, part of the leadership program there, and I serve as a student representative on our school site council. I am very glad to be speaking in support of my school and my teachers. I feel that NHUSD isn't handling their relationships with teachers very well, and it's causing a plethora of issues. I see the negative effects this is having on my teachers firsthand. Let's be real. The student-to-teacher ratio is increasing, and not for the better. My school's teachers already have 36 to 42 kids in their classrooms. The problem with this is that teachers can't go around helping each student or even build a trusting relationship with them, which should be happening when there's so many kids in a class. That, for my middle school teachers, that could be over 200 students they have to grade assignments for, form relationships with, and ensure they are able to understand the material being taught. Imagine if you were underpaid, working till midnight, and had to deal with around 200 students every day. No wonder some teachers get overwhelmed. Teachers even work outside their work hours, like coming early to work to prepare for the day, staying after class to help students, and even coming home to grade papers. I mean, the list goes on. They're amazing. Teachers go above and beyond to make sure they can do everything they can for their students without getting what they deserve from the district. You keep asking them to do more and more without paying them a fair amount for all the extra tasks. Teachers are educating the youth, the next generations of engineers, doctors, scientists, entrepreneurs, and more. Do you value that? Because offering them a 0% raise shows you don't. Please take my words into consideration and make a change, because our teachers and students deserve it. If we don't give teachers what they need or deserve, strikes like those in Oakland, Los Angeles, and Sacramento will occur here. Please do what is right by showing our teachers that you value and respect them and the work they do. You have the ability to right this wrong situation. It's time to step up and make the right choices.
Final speaker is Joe Angeles.
Good evening, President Corr, members of the board, Superintendent Smith, district staff, and of course, the teachers, the New Haven Association Union. Thank you for staying, voicing your concern, those at home, and those still with us here tonight. Parents and community, my bigger thanks to all of you to show it's no longer about teachers, it is about the community. The community is here to tell you and ask you, and as teachers, we demand that you need to hear something different. I'm saying to you now, you are on an eve of reckoning. You are on a course that will change the course of generations to come. Not only for students, you've already heard, not only for the community, but for your teaching staff. The two most important things in this place called New Haven Unified School District, students and teachers. Unless you change the direction of this conversation, there will be a reckoning, and it will be one of desolation. And I say this really truly thing that you know me from the way I speak. It's about the real thing. It's about deed and action, because the famous thing, talk is cheap. People talk all the time. But as writer James Baldwin said, I don't believe what you say because I see what you do.
Tell it.
It's now time to let us see what you can do. You must do something. And I'll use an example you heard all night. 25 outstanding, extraordinary teachers. I wear this pink ribbon really proudly because that is their color tonight. That they have to be the ones to bear the cost of the most insane reasoning to balance a budget in a place where there's millions of dollars that needs to be looked at, and looked at again. I say that because in that 25 example, you just decimated 25 classrooms. 25 classrooms of 24 students. That translates to 30 now, I'm sorry. I get my math right. But again, that is the task that you're about to embark on. Over 400 students in those classes have now been impacted in their next coming environments. Schools throughout this district is now desolated and impacted. You must change the direction or else things will never be the same. You must consider and do, not what you say, do what you can do, like we said. There's no more time for hope. It's time for action. If we can't tell a house what to do and we can't take care of our own house, that's a problem. We all know that. You must take care of home first before you can change the tide of something else and somewhere else. So with that in mind, I'll say this to you. You must restore, respect, and repair this district. Restore, respect, repair this district.
Restore, respect, repair, sustain these teachers.
My thanks. As you can see, we are in delirium. So let's make this happen. This needs to end very seriously and very easily. I look forward to the conversation on Thursday. We are ready to bargain. We are ready to listen. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. And I think we wanted to take a 5-minute break for bathroom. Okay, sure. Let's go ahead and do that.
Guys, tomorrow? Yeah, like wake up.
Is there any other bathrooms?
There's one there, but I'm assuming that's out of order.
Anybody can find it. They can find it.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not stepping on that. Not with these tenants. That is not gonna happen. Shit. I will.
I was calling you. I was like, Monique, don't answer your phone. We'll make you happy.
I know we all do.
I'm like, somebody's a light down. Just so you know.
So you said until 11, so I'm going to come in 10:30.
I
don't drink coffee.
It's okay, I think we can probably run through this quickly, but the rest, maybe after the meeting is over. So there's another restroom. Do you need to go right away, or?
No, I can wait.
Okay, let's wait 5 minutes, I think we can probably go through. All right, thank you, we're gonna resume our meeting. Moving on to the next topic, section 8, public comments. Are there any,
Is Linda off?
Linda, are you still there? No, her number is still dialed. Linda? Okay. She may have left.
I'm here.
Oh, she is there.
Hello?
She was muted.
Okay, thank you. Are there any speakers from visitors on topics not on the agenda? Okay.
On the
Not on the agenda. Okay, thank you very much. So moving on to our consent agenda, are there any items that members would like to pull for information, clarification, or separate vote?
Yeah, my questions were answered in email.
Okay, in that case, may I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda items 9.1 to 9.20?
So moved. I second.
Discussion?
None.
Roll call, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Thank you. With no further business, this meeting is adjourned.